They say that thanks to Google these days, if you think a certain way or want to find evidence supporting your opinion or idea, no matter how silly or ridiculous, you can find it. I finally found an article supporting my dilemma, not on how much sleep to get per night, but how long to stay in bed per night. Certainly, 8 hours of sleep is the standard, but who falls asleep right away when they go to bed and stays asleep until the alarm goes off? Well, not me anyway. This doctor says that 8.5 hours a night is the new 8 hours. Finally, found an expert who thinks like I do, telling me how long to stay in bed. Will this finally get me to go to bed on time? Will my Korean studies now progress exponentially? Anyway, as it's the weekend and I'm trying to think how to motivate myself to do what needs to be done to get Korean moving along, I did have an idea to talk about. It's not really a new one, but still, I keep wanting to engage native material, and I want to do the Steve Kaufman thing of just tadoku or extensive reading, but well, it hasn't worked for me so far. My vocabulary and grammar, especially my vocabulary, is just too small. That reading is too painful, slow, and even if I look up everything, sometimes I am still left scratching my head. I wish I had a Korean kordek, similar to the Japanese kordek, but it doesn't exist. If you don't know what the Japanese kordek is, you can Google it. However, there is Evita's vocabulary deck, which is also quite nice, just no example sentences. According to many language learners, this is a fatal flaw. This has prevented me from really getting motivated and applying myself to do this deck. And I keep flip-flopping between it and other Anki decks and making my own decks, usually from howtostudykorean.com or Rosetta Stone, but making decks is hard, and those sentences on that site are generally good, but not always good. They're sometimes weird. It's not a core deck. Yesterday, I was watching YouTube and saw a medical student raving about Anki, and in particular, an add-on that helps him to do 1,000 reviews per day. I don't know if I've ever done 1,000 reviews in a day, and I've had some crazy all-day study days. This add-on is called Speed Focus Mode, and it simply forces you to answer a card within a set time frame. You can set it to show the answer after 4 seconds or whatever you want. It has a couple other options, like it plays this horrible sounding bell that warns you that 4 seconds are almost up. That last bit is what turned me off on the add-on when I had heard about it and tried it before. This med student YouTuber likes the bell, it seems, but he shows you that you can turn it off and also turn off the option for the add-on to auto mark a card wrong after that time period if you haven't already marked it. I'm finding that just having the card turn over in 3.5 seconds or so is a great way to keep me moving at a good pace through a deck, and most importantly, it really does help me relax and focus and keep studying longer. So this has thankfully gotten me more motivated and positive about Korean studying. My goal is to get into native material, but right now that just isn't very enjoyable and a way to learn. I'm thinking that I can hit up Evita's vocabulary deck really hard and also her grammar deck, and then go back and see if reading Harry Potter goes better. To be honest, reading Harry Potter on Link right now isn't the worst. It's doable even if I'm looking up almost every other word, but it really doesn't feel like I'm learning anything from it aside from a few vocabulary words like magic or wizard in Korean. I don't think much has stuck. Certainly nothing of use for having a conversation with a tutor or a language exchange. But I digress. I was thinking of trying for some concrete goals. They say concrete goals help you focus and stay motivated when studying a language. I haven't found them at all useful for me, but I think I might have been doing it wrong, or it's hopeless. We'll see. I would try a goal like learning 20 words per day in Anki, or studying Korean grammar every day for 15 minutes even. Please God, just if I could only study the stupid stuff for 15 measly minutes a day. I thought they were okay goals because they seem specific enough, but it occurred to me to try to make a goal for a month. A month is a long enough goal where you can see some real results, but it's not so long like a year where you are likely to lose focus. This month, I could try to learn X amount of words in Evita's vocabulary deck. Well, by learn, I mean get them into the review rotation and be more or less on top of my reviews. And I would like to work on my grammar too. So I could look to add X amount of grammar cards in Evita's grammar deck. I have other decks I'm interested in, but I think I'm going to just focus on those for this month's challenge. I don't plan to make other goals at this time, like to read for X amount of minutes or watch K-drama or do tutoring with italki tutors. I probably will do that stuff, but it will be the same as before, just when I feel like it. My goal is to add 1,000 new Korean vocabulary cards this month. I currently have about 1,400 cards, mostly young at the moment. I actually exported Evita's vocabulary deck to Flashcards Deluxe, and it doesn't have the same add-on, but it has a similar countdown timer feature to keep you moving along. Yesterday and today, I already added a lot of new cards, but if I increase my daily review to anywhere near the amount Anki med student YouTuber Parag Juthani, then I can add tons more cards very aggressively and be okay. When I think about it, it's a little bit shameful. Look at a typical med student's Anki flashcard. It has tons of information, including detailed diagrams, pictures, and explanations. My vocabulary cards are stupid simple in comparison. Kong means ball. Wait, I forgot already. I've started and given up doing Evita's grammar deck many times. Grammar flashcards are a lot more difficult for me, but as my Korean gets better, so does my tolerance for grammar flashcards. Per Anki, I have 310 young cards and 0 mature cards in this deck. As I said, I have started and stopped it several times, so I think I restarted it from scratch again recently. It's a little arbitrary, but I will make my month's goal for this deck to add 400 more cards. So there it is. My goal for the next month is to learn 1,000 new vocabulary cards and 400 new grammar cards. If I could really review 1,000 cards per day, then this would be too easy. But it's also more new material than I've done in a while, if ever. I can get pumped up, but the reviews usually slow me down a lot. I'm counting on this speed focus mode to bring my studying to a new level. And that is everything I had to go over. So thank you so much for watching. And I will update you on how speed focus mode is affecting my studies. Hopefully affecting it very, very much. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.